Alright, up on, yeah, it's Saskia again. 2025 deck reviews, I'm reviewing Saskia. I'm sure you lads that have been watching for a while have had quite enough of her, but it's her turn. I did Shroom yesterday, she's next in the reverse alphabetical order, so let's get to it. Saskia is kind of a puppet commander now. She only comes out if, if it looks like I've got a good way to attack. If I can do some real damage, otherwise she just sits in the command zone. Because as soon as she comes into play, I make an enemy by default. So, black, green, red, white, 3/4 legendary human soldier with vigilance and haste. She comes into play. You choose somebody, you name somebody, you point at them, and you say, "You motherfucker, you are going to get hurt. If any of these other dudes get hurt, you too." People don't like that. People don't like getting called out, but that's what she does. Whenever creature control deals combat damage to player, it deals that much damage to the player you have chosen. Start off right off the bat. I'm going to take these two cards out. So I've got Toski Bearer of Sacreds. 3 and a green for a 1/1 squirrel. Can't be countered. Indestructible. Has attack every turn. Whenever creature control deals combat damage to player, well, he doesn't really work. He just doesn't get out soon enough, even though it's a wide token strategy and he should work, because most of my creatures don't really have any evasion. He just doesn't get through. Well, he doesn't get through, but not enough creatures get through. Most of the tokens are generated on the ground, so it's easy to block them. On paper, it looks really good, but in actual practice, the 2 games I've had where I've had him in play, I got 1 card, 1 game, and then the deck choked. I didn't get the much. I wasn't really attacking. So I'm going to place with Eladamri's Call. Eladamri's Call is green and a white. Instantly, search your library for a creature card, show it to everybody, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Basically, it's Worldly Tutor, but for the extra white, you put the card in your hand instead of putting it on top of your library. So what I can do with this is I can get Balin the Haymaker if I've got enough tokens, so I can start drawing cards. I can get my champion, Chatterfang, if I got a handful of lands, get my Dryad of the Elysian Grove. If I need something in my graveyard, I can find Eternal Witness. I can find Perforos, because until he's in play, and I don't have Devotion, in all of the zones, Perforos is a creature. So I can find him. So that is one change I'm making. I'm also going to take out Avenger of Zendikar, and you're thinking, why the hell would you take Avenger of Zendikar, one of the premier token generators in the game, out of a token deck? Well, he costs a lot, and I don't want to track the counters. I don't want to track his landfall. It just creates memory issues, and I just don't want to do it in this deck. I'm probably going to put him in the Chlorwald rebuild, because I'll be sacrificing the tokens anyway, so I don't care. So this is I don't know what I'm taking out for this. The deck is black, green, red, white. Everything but blue. I can put in, there are easily 100 cards that would fit the deck, would help the deck. I don't know what I'm going to put in. I was thinking of putting in Humility, just to be funny. If I put in Humility, okay, that shuts off all my creature abilities, but if most of my creatures are tokens, it doesn't really matter. I still have War Leader's Call, and Impact Tremor, so those two, when a creature comes into play, opponents take 1 point of damage. It's not giving the creature an ability. And it would really fuck with everybody else. Oh yeah. Long Pete, your knights are indestructible and flying? Bang, not anymore. Oh man, Massacre Girl. And all those creatures that put counters on my creatures and eat them up? Bang! They're little 1/1 piss ants. Fuck them. Alright, let's get to the deck. So I've got Chatterfang, Squirrel General. He works really well with Pitiless Plunderer. And Pitiless Plunderer and him, let me just set him aside. I'll talk about him when I find the Plunderer. Okay, Chromatic Lantern, pretty basic. 3, it's a mana rock. Lets me tap my lands for mana of any color, which is pretty nice in a 4-color deck. The mana restrictions can get pretty tight. Elspeth Tyrell, 3 white, 4 loyalty planeswalker. If I've got doubling season, then she would be an 8 loyalty planeswalker. Yeah, baby. +2, gain a life free creature control. -2, put 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. -5, destroy everything else except for lands and tokens. Board wipe. Felwar Stone. The last game, so Saskia, I think it was Connor. I think Connor Sapphire. And if I'm not giving you the right citation, just let me know in the comments if somebody else said it. But somebody asked me, is Saskia becoming your favorite deck? Yes. Yes, she is. She is definitely one of my favorite decks. Oh my god, is she fun to play. 2 games, and they were really frustrating at first. Really, really frustrating. I was getting pissed off because I'm not getting any land. There's 38 goddamn lands in the deck. Why am I not drawing any? Why am I not getting my drawings? And I still won. The one game, the most memorable game. So Cube was playing Tyranids. Long Pete was playing Jabari Esper Knights. And the first creature I cast was Alright Champion, so I'm going up in life, but Pete keeps beating me down. I cast Defense of the Heart, and I decided to find something funny. So I could have found Pitiless Plunder. Yeah, I'll talk about them later. Pitiless Plunder and Shadowfang. I could have found Champion Lamholt and Elish Norn. That's what I could have found, but I chose not to. I didn't do that. What I found, what I pulled out off a resolved Defense of the Heart is, well, where is he? Come on, there he is, Drain Shirt. I pulled these two out. And you think, why the hell would you do that? Well, I wanted to see how she worked. I wanted to have some fun, because I was kind of dead in the water, not really doing anything, and I didn't want to make myself an immediate threat. If I play Elish Norn and something like, I don't know, Grave Titan, I become a threat with not much to back myself up with. So I thought I'd have some fun. So I got Kit Kanto and Deranged Hermit. And then I started goading Jabari. So Jabari had to attack Cube. And I started goading Cube's creatures, so he had to attack. And then Long Pete, even though he was in a good defensive position, and whatever Cube sent at him wasn't going to do it, he, after a couple turns, Swords, Plowshares, Kit Kanto. Okay. So the only benefit is then now he could attack me, because I couldn't goad Jabari into attacking Cube. And I was not happy. I was fucking not happy. So Kit Kanto, 1 green red white, 3/3 kitty cat, which comes to play. You get a couple of, I forgot about that. I actually forgot about that. She comes to play at 2 citizen creature tokens, because I played her, then I played this, and I only had the 4 squirrels and her. I should have had 2 more creatures. God, I need to learn to read my cards. But there's so much fucking text on it. Jesus. And I was more concerned with the goading. So, at the beginning of combat in each player's turn, you can tap 2 untap creatures you control. If you do, target creature that you control gets +2/+2 trample and has to attack. So, when he got rid of her, and I couldn't have fun with her anymore, I was like, motherfucker. And then the game kind of struggled on and went on. And then I got this. And it's nice. So, Cube attacked with 10 creatures. I had at least 1, when a creature comes into play, it hurts you, impact tremors effect out. Cube was at 13 life. So this killed him. He attacked. I got all these spiders. They blocked his creatures. I didn't even have to block. I just played the creatures. I got the creatures, the tokens, 2 and a green, instantly create X 1/2 green spider creature tokens with reach, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all damage dealt to determined non-spider creatures. So he attacked. I got about 12 of these guys. The impact tremors killed Cube, and then there's Long Pete. And is that the game that happened? I'm starting to confuse them. And then Long Pete, he was... No, I'm confusing the games now. I'm confusing the games. But anyway, this card saved me. And then I should probably just redo this because I'm just all over the fucking place now. I completely lost my... I'm confusing two games. Lost my fucking... Well, just keep going. And under procession, 3 and a white. If an effective created under control, create tokens under control, it creates twice as many instead. Grave Titan. 6 for a 6/6 Death Toucher. Too bad he's not a zombie. Too bad these guys are all giants, but okay, fair enough. He looks like a fucking zombie, though. Whenever it comes to player attacks, you get 2/2 black zombie creature tokens into play. Perforos, God of the Forge. Had one game where I thought it was dead in the water because Long Pete exiled Perforos. He couldn't do anything about the war leader's call. He decided Perforos was the bigger threat, and I just kept pummeling him by putting out tokens. This is one of the games where he got low in life because Cube had really been slamming into him. I killed Cube somehow with only 4 lands and a Felwar Stone for mana, so I was really frustrated because I wasn't getting anything, but I still won the fucking game, which is weird, but nice. So Cube slammed into Long Pete, knocked him down pretty hard. I killed Cube with an Impact Tremors effect and tokens. And then Cube, or Long Pete, also took damage from that, and he was down to like 1 life. And I was going to attack him, and I said, I'll just let you die during your upkeep because I have a Tender Shoot Dryad and this Impact Tremor effect. So during your upkeep, I'll get a creature, Impact Tremors will trigger, and you'll lose your last point of life. I'm like, oh, okay. So Perforos, God of the Forge, he does some stuff, he's indestructible. He's not going to be a creature in this deck because I'm not going to have enough devotion to red. But whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, he deals 2 damage to everybody. Goblin Bombardment. 1 in a red, sack a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to any target. Yeah. I might take that out if I don't have another copy for the Core World rebuild I'm doing, though. But probably shouldn't. I could put Maha in this deck. Replace this with Maha, Goblin Bombardment, kill creatures. But then Cube and I have made a deal where both of us took Maha out of our decks because she's just so overpowered. And I don't want to renege on that agreement. Arcane Signet, yeah, add 1 mana of any color. Commander's color, but yeah, it's a mana rock. And Dryad of the Listen Grove. 2 and a green for 2/4 Nymph. Okay, so he's an Exploration and a Prismatic Omens at the same time with a 2/4 body. Prismatic Omens is a 1 mana, 1 colorless, 1 green enchantment. All your lands are every basic land type. Exploration is you can play an additional land. So if he were 1 and double green, he would be those cards. He would be Prismatic Omens and Exploration at the same time in a 2/4 body. So he's pretty cool. Sacred Fountain, okay, it's a shock land. Everybody knows what a shock land is, I assume. Calculating Lich. I'm not sure if I really want to keep him in the deck. As I play it more, and I really truly understand what it wants to do and how it works. For example, I had him in my hand during one game, and I just didn't want to cast him because I wanted to keep up mana for my instance. But anyway, 4 black for a 5/5 menacing zombie wizard. Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, that player loses. So it encourages my opponents to attack each other. That is one thing he definitely does. Not sure how it would work in practice, because I've only had him in play with some other versions of the deck, and it seemed to be alright. If I'm attacking with a lot of creatures, then that's really where it shines. But then I have to have the creatures to do so. Artifact Mutation, green-red, instantly blow up an artifact. It cannot be regenerated. Not that there's very many ways to do that. Put X 1/1 green sapling creature token into play, where X is that artifact CMC. I was thinking also Red Sun Zenith might be good in this deck. Red Sun Zenith, it's a sorcery, not an instant, but it's red X. Destroy X artifacts. If X is 5 or more, you create token copies of the artifacts you destroyed, and you exile them at the end of the turn. If I have Doubling Season, then I would create an additional copy of those artifacts, or a No Intercession, and I would keep them, which sounds really good. I'm really thinking about Red Sun Zenith in here. Might be nice. Hey, it's a swamp. Soul Ring, the Sheldon Maneri Soul Ring. Man, that's nice. I'm glad I finally got these secret layers in. From this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Ink Shield. Yep, another Sheldon Maneri card. I really wanted to play this, but I just didn't draw it. 3 black-white. Prevent all combat damage that we dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage fronted this way, create a 2/1 white-black Inkling creature token flying. You did it to yourself. Too bad it doesn't prevent all damage. Too bad I can't prevent damage to somebody else and get the creatures. They have to be attacking me, but at least it prevents the combat. So this is kind of a nice mirror image. So this prevents all combat damage, and for the damage I get the Inklings. This, I get it a spider according to the ender. These are 2/1 flyers. These are 1/2 at the reach. Oh yeah, it's even more of a mirror image. But this only works if there's a bunch of creatures. It works no matter how many creatures are attacking me, but the more creatures are attacking me, the better for me. You know, they go wide and I get more creatures. This, if they're attacking me with a couple of big creatures, then this is nicer. So they kind of work together. Yes, that is a Bayou. I have 1 of each revised dual land. I've got a second copy of Taiga and a second copy of Tropical Island. My companies, sometimes they have bonuses, apparently. I don't know when the hell they pay out the bonuses. I don't know when the hell they announce them. But if they have a really good bonus, like a really good bonus, and I can justify it, I'll probably get Saskia a plateau or a savanna. I think that's what she needs for lands. Nadir's Nightblade, 2 and a black. Whenever token you for a 1/3 elf warrior. Whenever token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Doesn't care what kind of token. It can be a treasure token, and it usually is. Jetmir's Garden. So I have Jetmir's Garden, and I've got the Absent Triome, because I want to double up the... No, not the Absent. Anyway, I'll show it to you when I find it. Fuck it, I can't remember what the hell it's called right now, I don't care. So, I got this one because I wanted an additional way to get white or red. It seemed getting red or white was a problem for me. So that's why I have 2 Triomes. Even though it's not a Triome, it is. I mean, come on. They should have called it Jetmir's Triome. Okay. Marsh Flats. Generous Gift. Destroy target permanent. Any permanent can be a land. Its controller creates a 3/3 elephant creature token. Cube has gotten more aggressive about blowing up my lands. So I'm going to start getting more aggressive about blowing up his. Forest. Stroke of Midnight. It's generous gift. Except you can't destroy your land, and they get a 1/1 human instead of a 3/3 elephant, but it's the same. It's a destroy something instant for 2 and a white. And they get a token. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. All lands are swamps. Taiga. So there's the... She's got a Taiga and a Bayou. It'd be nice to have... So I've got two green dual lands. I would like to have an additional way of getting red-white. Because I've got Urborg in here. I've got Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth in here. So green, black, if I can get one of those, is no issue anymore. The red-white sometimes is. So what I would do is either get a Savannah. So I've got another searchable way of finding the forest, because green, it's very green heavy deck. The basis of the deck is green because of the ramp. That's the foundational color. The tertiary colors, white, then red, then black, roughly, I think. No, white, black, then red. Red is kind of the lowest, but when I need the red, I need the red. If that makes any sense. So, I would like to get a Plateau or a Savannah, but since they're 200 fucking euros, I'd have to have a decent bonus to justify it. And even if I got a decent bonus, I would probably have to think about it for a little while, because there are so many other cards I want. So many. And none of them for me if they're drift. Fuck that set. Fuck that Akira race car, Fast and Furious motorcycle bullshit. Fuck that set. God, it looks like trash. There are a few cards that look cool. I will give it that. Because there are always some cards that look cool. But overall, what a load of shit. Anyway, Bloomburrow. Fountain Port. Tap, add colors to sack a token, draw a card. 3, pay 1 life, create a 1/1 blue fish. 4, create a treasure token. So if I've got mana I'm not doing anything with at the end of somebody's turn, I can do that. Sounds like the fun times are here. I better hurry up with this. 1 green. Champion of Dampult for a 1/1 human warrior. Creature's power less than her power, can't block creatures I control. Whenever the creature enters the battlefield under my control, she gets a +1/+1 counter. So she can be explosive. If I pop off Arachnogenesis, she's in play and I pop this off, and I get like 6 spiders, she gets 6 counters. So anything less than 6 can't block me. Swamp. Beast Within. It's generous gifts in green. Except it's a beast instead of an elephant. It's the same card. But it can blow up a land. There's a beast in your land. Should I say it? Should I? I think I will. Attempt for discovery. You turn to green, and of course, as always, as I always say, as I'm getting tired of saying, but I'll say it anyway. You're in a 4-man pod. There's one guy who's kind of mana screwed, and he's going to take your offer. There's another guy who says, don't do it. Don't do it. He will get some bullshit lands. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. That's why I'm tempting you with discovery. It's a temptation. And there's the middle guy. That he's a tiebreaker. So if he gets the land, usually the mana screwed guy, he will go get the land. So he'll get 2. Then the third guy, if he takes you up in the offer, then the fourth guy is like, fuck it. Okay, 3 bullshit lands or 4 bullshit lands, what does it matter? I'll go get a land too. But if the tiebreaker guy says, no, I'm not going to do it, then the guy who says, I told you not to do it, he'll be kind of happy. And all you end up doing is getting Cabal Coffers and Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. For 4 mana. Untapped. Bitter Blossom. Had some people say this doesn't really belong in the deck. It's not fast enough. But to be fair, what?
I will need help from.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just pause this and come back to it. Alright, so the wife is out on a walk with my daughter. They went to the shop, so I've got some peace and quiet to finish this. Sorry about the interruption. The minor unpleasantness. She just doesn't care about this. This is my hobby. This is my thing. Because it's not bringing any money into the house, because I still need to hit 75 more subscribers before I even start. She doesn't care about it. Which, that's kind of typical. If a man has a hobby and his woman isn't into it, she typically doesn't care if he's got a hobby or he's trying to create some kind of source of revenue, some kind of revenue stream. Initially she'll be supportive, and then if it goes for a long time and nothing happens, she loses interest because it's distracting the man's attention away from her and what he wants. But once it starts bringing money in, if it ever does, then she'll be more supportive because now it's benefiting her. It's bringing in money into the house. So we'll see. Anyway, I think it was on Bitter Blossom. I think I was saying that some people, their opinion is this doesn't really belong in the deck because it's slow, only triggers once on my turn, but it comes down early. Bitter Blossom has actually proven its value quite a few times in this deck. If I get it down early and I start making tokens, then I have some board presence. Yeah, they're just 1/1 flyers, but they can block. They can block Jabari. If I get a Impact Tremors out, they start pinging away at my opponents, just poking them a little bit. And then later on, if I get some of the buffs, the team buffs, well, then they're bigger flyers. So it's actually pretty good. Stomping Ground! Dictate of Erebos. 3, black, flash! Whenever the creature control dies, it puts a sacrifice creature. Kill them all! Okay, yeah, I got to. Okay, yeah, I won't do that again. For a little while. Sarkin Vol. 2 green-red for a 4 mana. Jesus Christ. Yes, he is 4 mana. Yes, that's 2 green and a red. That equals 4 mana. 4 loyalty Planeswalker. It's really hard to see his ultimate, though, because of the signature. I like that it's signed. It would have been nicer if maybe Darken had gone down a little bit, or maybe across here. But he didn't, and I got it anyway, so I play it. Creatures you control get +1/+1, gain haste until end turn. +1 loyalty. That's really why he's in here. He's really in here, so if I've got, if I've got like 4 or 5 fairy tokens and I see a chance to attack, then I can give them all +1/+1 haste. Although, maybe it doesn't really belong in this deck anymore. As I've played it, and I see how I win, I realize that, for example, Avenger of Zendikar is not necessary. Doubling Season isn't necessary, and you've got a token deck, and you're thinking about taking out Doubling Season? Are you out of your fucking mind? Well, I won 2 games with minimal land, no Doubling Season, no Anointed Recession, so it is on the possible chopping block. The thing is, what would I put in for it? I would need to put in some kind of token generator. I've got some ideas, but still exploring it. Right now I'm going to deal with the Avenger of Zendikar first. I will leave him in for a while longer because he also has -2 loyalty, gain control target creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste until end of turn. Sometimes this is really funny. For example, the genie played, I forget the name. It's not that I forgot the name. I never really knew the name. I don't care. It's some white creature that when you tap it, you and target opponent each draw a card. So I snatched that away from him, untapped it. Oh, hang on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, man. A sinal explosion. So I snatched that creature, used it to draw a card. I let him draw a card too for the courtesy of having the creature in play for me to do this. And then -6. I haven't done his ultimate, but since this is a token deck, and that's the other reason why I'm leaving him in here, because there is the possibility of the put 5/4/4 dragon creature tokens with flying into play. Wow, that sounds pretty good in a token deck. 5/4/4, and then if I have Doubling Season, which is why I'm not taking it out, because there is potential to it, no doubt. I would get 10 4/4 dragons. And if I have Terror of the Peaks in play, and I get 10 4/4 dragons, that's 40 points of damage. That's 10 kicked burst lightnings. That's fucking huge. So yeah, Sarkin is good. Hey, it's a Wooded Foothills. Illustrious Wanderglyph. Illustrious Wanderglyph is the white Tendershoe Dryad. He costs the same, except he's white. He's the same power and toughness. He has Ascend, just like she does. He gives the creatures +2/+2 that he generates. Gives the creatures he generates +2/+2 as long as it's the city's blessing. But instead of 1/1 saplings, he creates 1/1 colorless gnomes. I feel like there's something more I could do with that. I feel like the colorless creatures, there's something that maybe it's not an interaction I'm forgetting right, but it just feels like there's something to be done with that. Maybe I just need to buy a copy for Shroom. He would be good in Shroom. So anyway, got him to generate tokens of return. Mountain. God the Shrine. Sterling Grove. Green, white. Bang. Other enchantments you control have Shroud. 1. Sack it. Search library for an enchantment card, show it off, shuffle, and put that card on top. So you do it at the end of the turn of the opponent directly preceding you, and of course then it becomes a better tutor because it would be the card you draw, so there's less chance of somebody knocking off the top of your library somehow. Hammerheim. It can remove land walking ability. It's basically a mountain that instead of mountaining you can make a creature so it can't land walk you. Land walk isn't really that relevant anymore. It used to be huge. It used to be all over the place. It used to be as evergreen as Ward, it felt like. Every set had a bunch of cards that land walked. But they just really don't do that anymore. The last one I can really think of is Chatterfang with his Forest Walk. But since I like the art, I really like the way it looks, and I have a copy, and she kind of needs red, I play it because it's fun. Her, oh god, she is so good in this deck. She's beautiful. White for a 1/1 human cleric, protection from black and red. Whenever another creature comes into play, you may gain 1 life. And I know why she says you may. She says you may because in tournaments, if you miss the trigger, then you just keep going. If she said you gain 1 life and you miss the trigger, then you have to back up. You have to judge. Judge comes over, backs things up, does his investigation, gives a missed trigger penalty, and it just slows the game down. Wastes everybody's time. So that's why they put the May there. Cabal Coffers. Urborg's little buddy. 2-tap, add black for each swamp you control. If I don't have Urborg, this is kind of useless. Unless you have my Cradle Growth, then it's a forest. So it's got some utility. Or if I have Chromatic Lantern. Or if I have, what's that bastard name? The Dryad? Forgot his name already. Dryad Illusion Grove. Then I can tap it for a mana of any color. I think that's it. So yeah, there's a few ways of taking advantage of it besides Urborg, but it limits it. Windswept Heath, Conduit of Worlds. You may play land from your graveyard. Wow, thank you. Choose target land permanent in your card in graveyard. This is going to be the only spell you cast this turn, so you better choose wisely. And you can only do it as a sorcery, so don't get cocky. Tempt with bunnies. 2 and a white. Now this, unlike Tempt with Discovery, it's probably going to go off. So in a 4-man pod, I spend 3. I draw a card, create a little 1/1 bunny rabbit. What's the harm in everybody drawing a card and creating a little 1/1 bunny rabbit? So typically I am going to get at least 3 cards with this because it's since the lands, when I Tempt with Discovery, if I get 4 lands come into play untapped, yeah, that can really push me along. This, if I just draw 3 cards and get 3 bunnies, because somebody doesn't want to be tempted. It's not as much of a discussion. Nobody's like, don't be tempted by the bunnies. Everybody's like, oh, a cute little bunny. I want a bunny. I want a little bunny. Once in more. Ancient Tomb. Tap it. Add 2 colors from any mana pool. Deals 2 damage to you. Yeah, after some time. In the initial game, this is great. After a few turns, I really want the Chromatic Lantern or the Dryad Elysian Grove. I really want to be able to shut this off with taking damage. Cook. Okay. Okay, good. Cheese? Did you get cheese? Did you get cheese? Alright, I'll go out in a bit. Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Well, with 4, odds are somebody's going to be producing something I can use. Unless I'm playing against 3 mono blue decks and I'm ass out of luck. Guy's Cradle. Add 1 green to your mana pool for each creature you control. Yeah. Tokens. Volra Stronghold. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. 1 in a black tap. Put target creature card from graveyard on top of your library. I only have 22 creatures in this deck, and I took out Toski in favor of Eladrim's Call, so now I'm down to 21. So, in a way, I really don't need this, but in another way, making a deck with black doesn't feel right without it, because all my other black decks have 1. So, she has 1. Pernicious Deed. 1. Black-green to cast. X. Sacrifice Pernicious Deed. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with CMZ X or less. And of course, if you pick 0, you just play it, blow up all the tokens. Not that I want to do that if I have all the... Oh, yes. Oh, this card. Oh, this is... I remember how I won now. I remember how I... Let me get him. Let me skip ahead a bit. This is fucking hilarious. Oh, this is great. Where is he? There he is. I actually had thought about taking Jetmir out. I had thought about taking him out because I was not really going to go for the attack strategy. I was trying to go more into the impact termers sort of strategy of playing tokens and dealing damage, indirect damage, being an artillery deck. But I bought him for the deck, and I like him, so I left him in. And so this one game, Cube attacked with 10 creatures, and again, I was mixing up 2 games, so just bear with me. Arachnogenesis. I got 10 spiders. They gang blocked one of his creatures to kill it. Gang blocked it because all his creatures had menace. Gang blocked a couple of his other ones to kill them. And then at the end of his turn, I had 2 white open. All those spiders were untapped. So I tapped them all and I created he attacked with 12 creatures, I think. 10 or 12. So X was 10. I had 2 white untapped. I got 10 1/1 white soldier creature tokens and lifelink. And then I drew Jetmir. And it was very clear to me what I should do. So I had a dozen spiders, 10 of these 1/1 white soldiers to lifelink, about 22 creatures. I did not really expect that. 22 creatures, bang, Jetmir comes down. Wow, now I've got 23, 4 1s with Vigilance, Trample, and Double Strike. They all attack you. How many blockers do you have? 6? Okay, I think I win this one. So, Jetmir has proven its value. March the Multitudes has proven to be one of the best cards in the deck, one of the most fun cards, and Arachnogenesis is fantastic. Same with Kit Kat. This is one of the things I love about this deck is there are multiple angles of attack. And any deck where I can win, yeah, that's Overgrown Tomb, any deck where I can win with 5 mana sources so overwhelmingly, and I only had about 5 mana sources when I did the Jetmir thing. It's a good deck. Sun Titan, Yep. Sun Titan. 4 white, 6/6 Vigilant Giant. When he comes to play or attacks, you may return a permanent card with CMC 3 or less from graveyard, so he can bring lands back and stuff. He can bring this back. He can't bring this back. Helm of Possession. You may choose not to untap Helm of Possession during your untap phase. 2. Sack a creature. Gain control of some other creature as long as you control Helm of Possession and it remains tapped. And if it becomes untapped, then you can do it again. And you can just keep taking creatures. Grand Crescendo. I've not played this card yet, but I think it's going to be great. I like these instants. I was a little unsure about the, how much value I would get for an X mana instant. Ooh, especially March of the Multitudes because it convokes. If they do another one of these that convokes, I will definitely get it for Saskia. Command Tower. The beautiful Sheldon Maneri Secret Lair version. It's weird though. It looks kind of like a spaceship, doesn't it? It looks like a spaceship coming out of the void. Or shards. Well, I'm making token creatures. Should be making a lot of them. What?
You want a biscuit?
Yeah, in a minute. I'll come in.
Okay.
Thank you. 1 green white. Whenever creature comes play under your control, you may destroy target artifact enchantment. And if I can make creatures at instant speed, this is so much better. Verdant Catacombs. Tempt with Vengeance. So Saskia has gone from shadow creatures attacking didn't really work to kind of a token strategy, back to creatures, and now to her current version. During one of those iterations, I'd played Tempt with Vengeance with Purpose in play, and I tempted for about 6. And I forget who, I think it was Long Pete, Cube, and probably Roman, I think they were playing. And Long Pete, he was tempted. He thought, wow, great, I get some more creatures. And it reminded him I have Purpose in play. So if he gets 6 creatures, I get another 6 creatures, and he's going to take another 12 points of damage. And he's like, maybe I don't want those creatures after all. Yeah, well, fair enough. I don't want to bamboozle you too bad. Smothering Tithe, 3 and a white. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they may pay 2. If they refuse, if they say no, then you get a treasure token. Plains. There she is. The white illustrious, or the green illustrious Wanderglyph. So she's the green illustrious Wanderglyph. She has the same casting cost, except green, not white. She's still 2/2 ascend. It's the same fucking thing, except she makes saplings and makes saplings bigger. It's kind of neat how they're the same damn thing. They just, a couple words have changed, and the casting cost. 1 pip has changed. Terror of the Peaks. Oh yeah. 3 red 5/4 flying dragon. If my opponents try to cast a spell to target him, it lightning bolts them. He doesn't want to be targeted by their fucking dirty spells. Whenever another creature enters a battlefield under control, Terror of the Peaks. So, like I was saying, if I do Sarkhan's Ultimate, even if I do it normally and I get 5/4/4, well, that's 20 points of damage. Looking forward to that going off. Clever Concealment. 2 white or Convoke. I like Convoke. Any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out. So normally I would put Ghostway in a deck like this. Ghostway is not great tokens because it exiles all your creatures, and if your tokens get exiled, as you know, they don't come back. Clever Concealment just conceals them, phases them out for a turn. Maybe that's what you should do. Maybe Avenger of Zendikar should be Teferi's Protection. Like I said, it's so wide open, I really don't know what I'm going to put in for it. But I'll put in something. I was thinking Humility, but after reading Humility, reading some of the rules, some of the interactions in between part 1 and 2 of this, which I'm just fusing them together, so it's one big mass. So you started getting into timestamps and bullshit, and you have to think, and it gets tricky with Humility. It's just the way it is. So apparently if Humility comes down, after Coat of Arms, the creatures lose the ability the Coat of Arms gives them. If Coat of Arms comes into play after, because of the timestamps, everything is a 1/1, except Coat of Arms will give them the bonus. That sort of thing. It's just too much to... I don't want to deal with it, because there will be... it will slow the game down. It's not going to give me that much of a benefit, I think, so I'm not going to put Humility in here. Defense of the Heart. I don't really need this in this deck because I don't have any 2-creature combo. Well, I've got Pitiless Plunder. I have one. I have a singular 2-creature combo. But I've also have Kit Kanto and During Tournament. I found out that's a really fun 2-creature combo I had not originally anticipated. So this is staying in. And like I said, the reason I got Kit Kanto and During Tournament is I didn't want to get fucking Elish Norn and Bellados Witherboom or something like that, and everybody go, oh god, we've got to kill him. I want to get something fun. And I had a lot of fun with Kit Kanto. I really like her. So at the beginning of your upkeep, and if an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, sack Defense of the Heart, search your library for 2 creature cards, up to 2 creature cards. You can only find 0 or 1 if you want to, and put them on the battlefield, then shuffle. There he is, Bellados Witherboom. 7 for 4/4 Dragon with Flying. Beginning of everyone's upkeep, each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token, and when it dies, again life. This one does 10 life, untap all land control. That's fantastic. I love it. Elish Norn, Grants and a Bite. 5 white. I think everybody knows. Well, maybe some people don't really see her. I don't know if she's that popular anymore. I imagine in some circles she is, but 7 for 4/7 Vigilance. And a lot of people, the first few times they play her, they forget about the Vigilance because they're more concerned with the other creatures you control get +2/+2, creatures your opponent control get -2/-2. That's really why they're playing her. The Vigilance is just icing on the cake. 3 visits, go find a forest, put it on the battlefield, and then shuffle up. High Market. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool, or sacrifice creature, gain 1 life. Would have been nice when, if I had this, when Long Pete fucking Swords to Plowshared my Kit Kanto and into my fun, so then I could have sacrificed her and registered her out later with Volra Stronghold. I don't have anything else that returns creatures from the graveyard. Maybe that's something I should put in instead of Avenger of Zendikar. Like I said, it's wide open. I really am kind of at a loss because of what to put in because there's so many fucking options. So if any of you think of anything, look at the deck list, look at what I've shown you, and let me know if there's something that I need to shore up, in your opinion. So this comes into play tapped, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature or spell that shares a creature type with your commander, discard 1. I do have a few humans in here, so this is not completely useless. It's not completely a command tower that comes into play tap, but it pretty much is. Crop Rotation. When you play Crop Rotation, sack a land. Go find your guy's cradle, put it into play, shuffle up later. Savai Triumph. That's the Triumph I was thinking of. Savai Triumph. So I've got Jetmir's Garden that gives me red, white, green, and this one gives me red, white, black. So that way I've got extra ways of getting the red and the white. Like I said, because the deck has Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, and you have my Critical Growth. Green and black are not going to be too much of a problem, but getting the red and white sometimes is. And then, look, these are the next 2 lands. I say getting the red and white is sometimes, here you go, boss, here's your red and white. Thank you, deck. Thank you very much. Newest addition to the deck, this replaced Skull Clamp. This replaced Skull Clamp because Clamp, of course, costs 1 to equip. Gives a creature +2 -1. When the equipped creature dies, draw a card. So I can kill my tokens and draw 2 cards every time I spend 1 and equip 1. Except it's going to get shut off. Illustrious Wanderglyph. If I have gnome tokens, once I have the City's Blessing, Skull Clamp no longer functions very well. I have to have some other way of killing them. Same with Dryad or Tendershoot Dryad. If I get pretty much anything, War Leader's Call, Elvish Norn, if I get anything like that, then it shuts off. So I put this in because it triggers every turn. It's slower. Skull Clamp, when it's working, is much faster. You get more cards quicker. But this every turn, if I can generate, like if I have Illustrious Wanderglyph, everybody's turn I get a creature, so every turn I would get an additional card. Slower, but steadier. Credit tokens copy. This is kind of throwaway because I'll just do it as soon as I can. But the creature tokens you control get +2/+2. I've been playing this card a lot on Arena, and that can be huge. That can be really big. So that's a good addition. Blood Crypt, Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Create 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. 4+1. -3, destroy a creature's power 4 or greater. So I have to be careful about buffing them too much. Or I get an emblem with creatures control get +2/+2 and have flying. I've never triggered her ultimate. I have triggered her +1 a lot. Triggered her -3 a few times. Never triggered her ultimate. Yeah, my critical gloss. It's gloth. Whatever, gloth. That sounds like some kind of Nordic hero. I am the great hero Gloth, son of Johansson. Okay. Every land is a forest edition, southern mana types, forest types, bullshit types, whatever. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent. Yeah, baby. Eat it. Eat the damage. Lick it. Nature's Lore. It's a shiny 3 visits. It does the same damn thing for the same damn cost. You have my Hollow. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool or regenerate a creature. Yep. Mog Infestation. Okay, this is double duty. So, somebody has a threatening board, I can reduce their creatures to every threatening creature they have will devolve into a pair of 1/1 goblins. If I have Perforos out, and I have, say, 10 tokens, I can Mog Infest myself, and my 10 tokens become 20 tokens, and everybody takes 40 points of damage. 2 per creature. Ouch. Balin, the Haymaker, with his hot, chilly scythe of nasal destruction. Okay, this little bunny rabbit here. Green, red, white, 4/3. Rabbit Warrior. Tap 2 untapped tokens you control. Add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, okay. Tap 3 untapped tokens you control, draw a card. Yeah, now we're talking. Tap 4 untapped tokens you control. Put 3 counters on this guy. Plus and plus counters, and he gains trample. So I tap 4 tokens. The first time, he becomes a 7/6 trampler. That can hurt. Ashen's Altar. So this will help me pay for the X spells, and if I need to, this will let me sacrifice. This is a sacrifice outlet to power up the Dictate of Erebos. So if somebody's going to wipe my board, okay, I just generate some mana, and all you other motherfuckers, you sacrifice creatures too. If I'm going to lose mine, you're going to lose yours. Suck it. And it's an altar by my friend Ren. So this is a 5th edition white border Ashen's Altar that he very nicely extended out. Opal Palace, tap, add 1 tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. If you spend a cast commander, it comes to play with additional +1/+1 counter on it for each time it's been cast from the command zone. Yeah. Forest. Temple Garden. War Leader's Call! There we go. It's a glorious anthem stapled to Impact Tremors. My camera's about to shut off. I better hurry up. Eternal Witness. She comes into play. And shut off. I was trying to go fast enough, but I wasn't. If she comes into the battlefield, you may return target card from graveyard to hand. Of course, the reason the May is there on this card, if you have no cards in your graveyard, you need a player as a creature, or if you just, for whatever reason, you're insane and you don't want to bring anything back to your hand, you still get a 2/1 creature. And then Doubling Season. Dooble-dabble-dooble. 4 and a green. If an effect to put one or more tokens into play in your control, puts twice as many to play instead. If an effect to place more counters on a permanent control, you get twice as many instead. Remember, Planeswalkers, activating their loyalty does not put counters on them. You are paying a cost. So, activating a Planeswalker loyalty ability does not put more counters from Doubling Season. It doesn't work like that. They made sure of that. They were thinking ahead. So anyway, that's the deck. So this is replacing Toski. Because, okay, yeah, in some cases Toski could be really good. Could draw me a lot of cards. But everything has to work right. I want to look at the times where hardly anything is going right. So if nothing is going right for me, or I'm just kind of struggling, he's not really going to help. He's just going to get blocked and my creature's going to get killed. So he doesn't work as well as he should in this deck. This, if I'm generating tokens, I can go find Balin and use his ability to draw cards. He only costs 3, so I could find Kit Kanto and start having fun by goading people. I could find Dryad or Wanderglyph and start generating tokens every. So this gives me a few more options. So I think this will be better. Although it would be nice to have another card that draws cards. So for card draw, extra card draw, I pretty much only have Balin, Caretaker's Talent, Fountain Port, and that's it. I would like to find some other thematic way of drawing cards, something else that fits the theme of the deck and will work. The deck only has 21 creatures, so Beast Whisperer, when you cast a creature, draw a card, or Guardian Project, when a creature you control, when a creature comes into play and you control a non-token creature, you draw a card. I'm not going to be playing that many creatures, really, so neither one of those work very well. So I need to think of another. I could just put in a damn Phyrexian Arena. I don't think I want to do that because it doesn't synergize with the rest of the deck. I need to look at some black things that when you sack, most of them say non-token creature. So I need to review it. Anyway, here's the machine gun team. And most of you know how this works, but I'll just explain it for those that don't. If you have these two dudes at play, Fiddleless Plunderer, 1/4, whenever another creature you control dies, create a Creditless Treasure artifact token with sack this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Chatterfang, 2/3 Force Walking Squirrel Warrior. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus that many 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens are created instead. Black, sacrifice X squirrels, target creature gets plus X, neg X until end of turn. So you have them both in play. And a creature has to die. Or I have to have another token come in. Something has to happen where Chatterfang sees a token come into play. Chatterfang sees a token coming into play, and he gives me a squirrel. I can spend a black, sacrifice the squirrel. He says, hey, get a treasure. Chatterfang says, hey, you got a treasure, have a squirrel. I sacrifice the treasure for black, sacrifice the squirrel to give a creature plus X neg X until end of turn. Creature died, he says, hey, have a treasure. Chatterfang says, hey, have a squirrel. I tap the treasure, sacrifice it for black, and sacrifice the squirrel token that he just made to give a creature plus X, neg X, until end of turn. He says, hey, have a treasure, and you just keep going there. And you just gun down your opponent's board. the thing is, the reason I did not get them, like I said, in a couple games with the Defense of the Heart, is if I don't have really a way of kicking them off. If I have them both in play, but I don't really have a way of getting them started, because when they come into play, if they're just sitting there, I can't get them going. I need some way of getting the treasure tokens or killing creatures to get the treasure tokens and then making the scroll tokens. So maybe these will come out and go into the core vault rebuild. I don't know. I can get them to work. It's not that hard. It's just that if I'm struggling in a game and they're just going to put a target on my back, there's no point in doing it. Anyway, let me get this all spliced together and posted.